Hey there folks, it's Blue here at Blue Bears Games, and for this week's videos I will be unboxing and then upgrading the Modern Horizons 3 Graveyard Overdrive Commander precon. Before I get to today's video, I want to first take a moment to ask for your help in supporting my channel. The easiest and cheapest ways to show your support are by liking my videos, subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet, sharing any of my content on your socials, and or by watching some of my many other videos that I've created over the years. Additionally, you can support the channel by purchasing super thanks, channel memberships, decks that you may have seen on the channel directly from me on the Blue Bears Games Facebook page, and or visiting our sponsor, Arcane Fortress, by using the link that just popped up at the top of your screen and purchasing any of their amazing gaming supplies from them. By using that link specifically, you should receive a 5% discount store-wide. And finally, the last thing you can possibly do to help the channel out is through donations of extra cards that you may have just lying around. Even your bulkiest of bulk will help immensely, so if you'd like to donate to the channel, please message me on the Blue Bears Games Facebook page or email me at bluebearsgames@gmail.com and we can discuss the logistics of how. Anything you can do to help support my small channel is greatly appreciated, and I thank you for it. Now with that out of the way, let's begin. This video will be the unboxing of the precon, where I'll show you everything that comes in the box, including the deck card by card. And then tomorrow's video will be my upgrade guide, where I'll go over some options on what I believe you should take out and then add back in to help make the deck either more fun to play a little better, or best case scenario, both. This deck's color identity is black, red, and green, also known as Jund, and uses Disa the Restless as the commander. Disa is 1 black, 1 red, 1 green, and 2 generic mana to cast for a 5/6 legendary human scout with 2 abilities. The first ability says whenever a Llurgoyf permanent card is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, put it onto the battlefield. The second ability says whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a Llurgoyf token. That's quite an interesting and very different set of abilities if you ask me. They are very specific and tend to lead you down a very narrow path as far as this build goes. Simply put, just jam as many Llurgoyf creatures in, and then add things of every card type that can go to the graveyard to make said Llurgoyf creatures as big and beefy as possible. Knowing Wizards though, I'm sure there is some type of secondary theme in there that will muddy this strategy up, so without further ado, let's rip this bad boy open and I'll show you what's in the box. Alrighty, so here is what the box looks like on the outside. Of course it says Graveyard Overdrive with the 3 colors of the deck, and the little thing here says, fill your graveyard, avenge the dead. So we kind of have a small idea of what's going on here. On the back is a very small picture of Disa the Restless, which I'll never be able to read in my lifetime, but some of you can. But let's open it up and we'll take a look at everything that's inside. I expect a lot of reprints here, just because this is a reprint set, but there will be some new stuff because in Modern Horizons they did put a lot of new cards in the set. I believe it was a 50-50 split. So let's get everything out of here, and then I'll show you all the little pieces, and then we'll go over the deck. If I can this time get all the pieces out. Looks like I did. Alright, so we have this little thing here that has these on it, the little punch-outs. They're not very good. They're very thin. On the back of it was 3 +1/+1 counters and 3 Planeswalker symbols. I don't really know the best use for the Planeswalker symbol counters, but some people do. If you have any idea, let me know. Got a little pouch that came with it. So inside that comes the life wheel. That's generic looking. It's nice to have a generic looking one. You don't have to worry about pairing it with a deck. The deck box itself, which will take me a second to put together, but I will try and get it together as fast as possible and show you what that looks like. It's a little stiff. Alright, so it has the 3 colors of this deck on there, so this is specific. It also has a picture of the commander for the deck that comes in the precon, and then on the sides has Planeswalker symbols, and on the top it says Magic the Gathering. Kind of similar to almost every other one. We have a little insert. It's usually a poster size on one side, and then a little bit about the rules on the other. So we have Disa the Restless, and like a little poster size thing. I don't know anybody who actually does anything with these. I use them as dividers when I can. Then it has a little bit about the deck and the extra commander rules. Like I said, I use these as dividers when I'm using it, when I'm putting stuff in boxes to hold for storage. And then of course we have the sample pack, which I'm hoping is really good this time because it's Modern Horizons, and who knows, Modern Horizons could have a lot of good stuff in it. And then we have the deck. So we'll start with the sample pack, as always. Let me zoom a little bit for you. Open it up, and we'll take a look. Hope and pray that I get something good finally. We'll find out. And it curled immediately as soon as I opened it. That means there are foils here. Alright, so the first card is Archway of Innovation. And then the second card is a foil Charitable Levy. Both brand new cards to Magic from this set, not lately because this is a little bit older of a video from when Modern Horizons 3 came out, but I don't know the price of any of it, and I'm not really sure that any of it's really worth much, but I will have the prices up there for you to see. So that's that, but then we get to the meat and potatoes of this deck, or box, sorry, of this box. I actually was able to ripcord that out, so that's nice. And it looks like, there we go, we'll split the deck in half, and we'll take a look at everything. And make some room here. So this is Disa the Restless. We did go over that earlier, so I will not go over it again, but this is the foil version of it. It is not a special type of foil like the last set that we opened. The secondary commander looks like it's Corum the Undertaker. This is the 3 colors, green, red, and black, and then 1 additional colorless for a 0/5 legendary human warrior. It says that it gets +X/+X, where X is the greatest power among creatures in your graveyard. Then another ability that says whenever it attacks, each player mills a card. And a final ability that says during each of your turns, you may play a card and cast a spell from among cards in graveyards that were put there from libraries this turn. Okay. So a little bit of graveyard recursion, not bad. Most of this will end up being reprints. I will try to catch the new cards. So we start off with Terminate. It's good removal, good spot removal. Demolition Field. Command Tower. Twisted Landscape, this is new for Modern Horizons 3. These are similar to other lands that they had. They are lands that go and get specific land types. So they come into play untapped, and they tap to add a colorless mana, but then you can tap and sack them to go search for things. Specifically on this one, it's basic Swamp, Mountain, or Farce card, and put it onto the battlefield tapped and then shuffle. The new thing for this, because the other ones that have this same ability don't have this last line, which is cycling, you can cycle it away for the 3 colors of this land's color identity. Grizzly Salvage, that is a reprint. You have Amaya Elder, Bituminous Blast, or Bituminous Blast, Bloodbraid Elf, Eternal Witness, Savage Lands, Tainted Wood, Burnished Heart, Death Reap Ritual, some card draw for things that die, Arcane Signet, Sir Conrad the Grim. I actually do a budget deck specifically based on Sir Conrad. Grapple with the Past, Dakmore Salvage, Accursed Marauder, Bloodbraid Challenger. I do not recognize this. That does not mean it's not a reprint. I just don't recognize it. So it is a 5 to cast 4/3 Elf Berserker that has Cascade, one of the more powerful abilities in Magic, Haste, and an Escape ability that for a red, a green, and 3, and then exiling 3 other cards from your graveyard, you can cast it and put it into play. Broodmate Tyrant. Don't recognize this one either. This is a 7 to cast 5/5 creature dragon that has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, you create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying, and it has Encore. Tempt with Mayhem. Don't recognize this either. A 3 to cast instant. It has Tempting Offer, and the Tempting Offer here is to choose target instant or sorcery spell. Each opponent may copy that spell and may choose new targets for the copy they control. You copy the spell once, plus an additional time for each opponent who copied the spell this way, and you may choose new targets for the copy you control. Okay. Gluttonous Hellkite. This is new. This is a black, a red, a green, and double X for a 3/3 dragon that has, it looks like, flying and trample, and then an ability that says when you cast a spell, each player sacrifices X creatures. Then Gluttonous Hellkite enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each creature that was sacrificed this way. Llurgoyf is a 4 to cast star, 1+ star. And the ability says that its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and its toughness is equal to 1 plus that number. And then another ability that says whenever it or another Llurgoyf creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. Llurgoyf, it is a 3 to cast star, 1+ star again. It has Trample and Myriad, and then its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and then its toughness is equal to 1 plus that number. So keep that in mind when it has a star and a 1+ star for a Goyf. That's usually what it's going to mean. So we've got Llurgoyf, a 3 to cast, again, another star, 1+ star. This one is Death, Touch, and Lifelink. And then, of course, it has the Goyf abilities that it sets its power and toughness. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may mill that many cards, and if you do, you may put a creature card from among them into your hand. Alright, Sawhorn Nemesis. This is a 4 to cast 2/4 dinosaur. As it enters the battlefield, choose a player. If a source would deal damage to the chosen player, or a permanent that they control, it deals double that damage instead. Damage doubler is always nice in red. Infested Thrinax is a 5 to cast 4/4 lizard that has flash, meaning it can be cast anytime you could cast an instant spell. And then when it enters the battlefield until end of turn, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a number of 1/1 green sapperling creature tokens equal to that creature's power. Cool. That may go into my Slimefoot. Final Act. This is a 6 to cast sorcery that you get to choose one or more. You can choose to either destroy all creatures, destroy all planeswalkers, destroy all battles, exile all graveyards, or have each opponent lose all counters. And you can do any or. So you can do all of them, you can do one of them, you can do two of them, it doesn't matter. You get to choose. Siege Gang Lieutenant. This is a reprint. Tarmogoyf's Nest. This is not a reprint. This is a 3 to cast Kindred enchantment, because that's the new word for tribal. Llurgoyf Aura. It enchants a land, and the land has, you can pay 1 green and 1 and tap it to create a Tarmogoyf token. And Tarmogoyf is a creature from back in the day. It was reprinted in Modern Masters as the Big Get. I will have a picture of it, what it actually is, the actual card, next to this card so you can see it specifically. Exterminator Magnarch. This is a 4 to cast 5/3 Phyrexian construct artifact creature. And it looks like 2 abilities here. The first one says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a single non-land permanent an opponent controls, if another opponent controls 1 or more non-land permanents that spell could target, choose one of those permanents. Copy this spell, and that copy targets the chosen permanent. And then a second ability that says for a black and 1, you can regenerate it. Liliana Death's Majesty, a reprint. Maelstrom Pulse. Junji the Midnight Sky. Garrick Apex Predator. Some more reprints. The Reaver Cleaver. Temple of Malady. We know how much I dislike temples. Deathbridge Chant. Kolgan's Command. Izomi, Thousand-Eyed. Llurgoyf. This is the original Goyf. Selvala, Heart of the Wilds, Kessig Wolf Run, Archon of Cruelty, a lot of reprints, that's what I expected. Maskwood Nexus, Grist, the Hunger Tide, Ignoble Hierarch, Necrogoyf, Mortivore, Chandra's Ignition, Iridescent Bog, this is a enemy-colored filter land. Find and Finality, just so you can see it. Mossfire Valley. Ziatara the Incinerator. Cannon Sloth. And Cinderglade. That is the first half of the deck. Moving on to the second half. This should go a little bit quicker. Exotic Orchard. Shadowblood Ridge. Sheltered Thicket. Smoldering Marsh. Temple of Abandon. Temple of Malice, Raging Ravine, Brawn, Faithless Looting, Rampant Growth, Anger, Tranquil Thicket. It's a cycling land, that's nice. What is this? This is Stitcher's Supplier, it's a new picture. Grave Shifter, Talisman of Pestilence, Altar of the Goyf. I don't know if this was new to this set. I believe it was. It might not have been, though. My memory's a little foggy. I'll read it anyway. It's a 5 to cast Kindred Artifact Llurgoyf that says, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, or X is the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and it also has Llurgoyf creatures you control have trample. I don't remember if that was new to this set or not. Siphon Mind, Talisman of Indulgence, Sakura Tribe Elder, Terramorphic Expanse, Tainted Peak, Riveteer's Overlook, Riveteer's Charm, Forgotten Cave, Path of Ancestry, Lightning Greaves, always good. Myriad Landscape, Soul Ring, Talisman of Impulse, Evolving Wilds. Looks like that's most of the rest of the deck. And then I've got lands, so we've got swamps, mountains, forests. And then we have, oh look, we have a thick version of the Commander. We did not have that in the last set. I thought that they had removed them. From what I understand, this set came out after the one that I did before, but maybe I'm wrong. But this is a thick version of Disa the Restless. It's a little bit thicker, harder to bend. And then, of course, we have the tokens that came with it. So we've got Llurgoyf. So I don't even have to show. I'll still have shown you the card, but this is what Llurgoyf is. So we got a couple of those. We got a dragon token, a zombie, a couple of them, beast, another dragon, Garruk Apex Predator emblem, another dragon. On the back side we have copy token, sapperling, shapeshifter, a couple of them, some insects, treasure, sapperling, goblin, and goblin. And that, my friends, is what comes in the Modern Horizons 3 Graveyard Overdrive Commander Precon. So first things first, I wasn't wrong in saying that Wizards will muddy this deck's strategy up by throwing other themes in there. The self-mill stuff makes sense, and that's the only other theme that they should have focused on. Forcing things like Cascade and adding really bad graveyard recursion cards really don't seem to be doing much here. To me, the better idea would have been adding more Goyf creatures, assuming more exist of course, and adding ways to put those Goyfs into the graveyard from either your hand or library so you can take advantage of Disa's first ability. On top of that, this deck also needed ways to get different card types into the graveyard to help make those Goyfs a little more robust. There just weren't any artifacts or enchantments with self-sacrifice abilities that give you benefits, and I think that was a missed opportunity. So, that's pretty much the game plan for tomorrow's upgrade guide. How will I do it while also keeping it budget friendly? You'll just have to check back tomorrow to find out. Well, my friends, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, but if you're looking for more Magic related content to watch, please go browse through my channel and take a look at some of my many other videos. I've made quite a lot of them over the years that I think you'll enjoy, and then please be sure to come back tomorrow for that upgrade guide. Before you go, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet so you can be notified of any time that I release new content, which is typically every Friday and occasionally on Saturdays. Have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.